What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another BTR video.
Before we get started, please like, comment, and subscribe, and help us get to 200 subscribers. We're 14 away now.
Yeah, as of this moment, we're 14 away. Help us get that to by the end of the month. While you're at it, check out our podcast episodes that we're dropping. We're back at it with another tier list video. So NBA season, you can tell by the jerseys. We decided to go Jersey Day.
Rep our teams
Rep
here.
our teams here. Lakers, Raptors.
You have to
the cup over here, and the cup over here.
That's a mug. Championship mug.
And then the Kobe book. Back at a tier list video. Second one we're doing. The first one banged. Almost 800 views. I think by the time it came out.
Yeah.
This comes out should hit 800 views. So let's get this one to 1,000 views.
We never had that yet.
We've never had 1,000 viewed video.
What will be our first 1,000 view videos? Either between a guest or a tier list right now.
Probably. I think it'll be this one or guest video.
NBA is a hottest sport.
Yeah,
in recent memory right now.
North America for sure, especially America. That being said, make sure you guys also follow our TikTok, our Instagram, and subscribe to the YouTube for the YouTube Shorts, because we'll also be dropping our top 5 preseason power rankings, and we'll be trying to do those once a month. Unlike the NFL, which is easy to do weekly, we might, no promises, that'll be once a month. As mentioned, make sure you guys check out our podcast, because we'll be dropping our NBA or NBA season preview, similar to our NFL, NHL ones. Our MLB playoff ones and NHL ones, because we dropped that as a bonus on the Tuesday. So this coming Tuesday, check that out. So without further ado, let's get right into this tier list. So it's S, A, B, C, and D, and F. S being straight up championship contender, probably cream of the crop team. A, they're just right there. We might think they're half a tier below the S tier. B, they're playoff lock, most likely.
Playoff hopeful.
Lock, hopeful.
Yeah, around there, I would say.
C, they're fighting.
Mid.
They're probably like a wild.
They're mid.
Not wild card. What's the thing?
Play-in
contender.
But they're mid.
D, just outside the play-in. F, they're utter shit, number 1 overall favorites.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah, by the way, this is based on current rosters, what happened over the offseason, not from last year specifically. So this is considered as our preseason ranking.
Yeah,
overall.
Basically.
And that Tuesday season preview is pretty much our
prediction.
Prediction for the whole season. Yeah, so get right into it.
Starting it off
easy
Milwaukee Bucks S. And honestly, we'll just throw the other teams in S as well. So Boston Celtics.
Okay.
And Phoenix Suns will probably 100% agree.
Keep those 3 for right now.
Yeah. Starting off with Milwaukee, you created a new best duo in the league. Simple as that.
We talked about it a lot on our podcast when the Damian Lillard trade officially happened. So make sure you guys check that out for full thoughts. We're not going to go too much in depth. But like Jovan said, you have the best duo. You still have Chris Middleton. You have Brook Lopez. DPOI contender. You have a decent 6th man in
Bobby Portis.
Or
Jay Crowder.
Jay Crowder's still there. You add Malik Beasley. Hopefully his shooting comes back since he's not a Laker anymore. Campaign is a good backup PG as well. So easy. They're probably cream of the crop. Probably our favorites.
Celtics. Obviously as a result of a Damian Lillard trade, they found a way to get Drew Holiday. They added Porzingis, which I believe was a good big to add. Our off-season needs for them was a big who could shoot and a point guard, and they upgraded both massively with the Porzingis and Drew Holiday.
They are probably in contenders to be the best defensive team in the league. Concern for all 3 teams in a way. I would think the Celtics more out of those 2 are the depth off the bench. Right now it's only Derek White, who's a solid 3-and-D player.
Who's bald now as well.
Okay. Phoenix, obviously KD was added midseason last year. Devin Booker still there as the guy for them. Their whole team turned around except Devin Booker from when they made the finals. Traded away Chris Paul, got back Bradley Beal. Their biggest question mark is the point guard. Right now it's being combo guarded with both Booker and Beal. Found a way to fill out the roster well. That was the key.
That was my biggest question mark.
And they did it well. Eric Gordon.
Yeah, Eric Gordon.
Yeah.
And then obviously them being involved in Damian Lillard trade got him Grayson Allen and Nazir Little. Little, he might not have been, first pick quality, like first round quality guy, but he's still a good defender.
Then you added Yuta Watanabe, who was a great corner 3-point shooter last year. Josh Okogie played well for them. You have Steph's brother-in-law, Damian Lee, so he's a shooter. And overall you add you get rid of a distressed asset, I guess, and DeAndre Ayton, and you add Yusuf Nurkic, who could be a slight downgrade, but maybe for a fit and happiness, he might be better. Yeah. Overall, I think they're the best team in the West on paper, and I think like a lot of people might say, for all three teams, are the Eagles gonna kill them? I don't think so because KD ain't that guy. We saw that with the Warriors. It happened to the Nets because of Kyrie and James Harden. Milwaukee, I don't see Giannis and Dame being that at all. And same thing with Boston. I don't think that's the case. Drew Holiday is not that guy.
They're fine. They're
all going to be fine.
Locker room wise, they're gonna be fine.
Locker room wise, that's why they're all S tier.
Yeah. So moving on, let's pick an F tier team right now. We agreed. Got rid of Bradley Beal. Got rid of Kristaps Porzingis.
Now, just because they're F tier doesn't mean that's the right decision they've made, as well.
Yeah.
Now,
but like their team right now is Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma.
Is their duo.
And
I love the Tyus Jones. They could try to flip Tyus Jones to maybe Phoenix and see what they could do with that, because he is the best assist to turnover ratio point guard in the league last year. It was a key part of the Grizzlies, which we'll get into later when we get to the Grizzlies. But yeah, not like, much to say. They're supposed to be.
They lost their two best players, right?
Exactly.
Like, it's hard to be good when you do that.
And like Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Poole just go out and ball. Simple as that.
Yeah. So let's start off with the Brooklyn Nets here.
They're B or C. Now,
yeah, I have
a tough time. We have to go with the hardest one off the bat.
Yeah, it's
tough because like I have a few teams that are in the same tier, so we might have to do adjustments because of it. You could chuck them in. Like for me,
I think they're high C right now.
High C for sure.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons is a big question mark, and so far he's been more motivated as he was the last 2 years, even from the offseason. As much as I wasn't really a big Ben Simmons guy when he was in Philly, I'm rooting for the guy, right? Like I feel like he has the potential to be a great like power forward like Draymond Green. Playmaking, defense is all there. Yeah, the shooting ain't there, but he doesn't need to be that. Mikal Bridges took a massive step last year, but again, he ain't a number one.
He's not number one. Yeah,
he's not a number one, right? And if you look at the other teams in the East, especially, for example, your squad, your number one is better than Mikal Bridges in my opinion. So yeah, I think a C is fair. They're like a mid. They are definitely not a wild card. Play-in team
for sure. 7,
play-in contender.
7, 8.
That's the way
they could probably creep in a 6 maybe, but 7, 8 seed makes sense. The New York Knicks.
They're B.
They're ahead of the Nets for me.
The
for sure.
Jalen Brunson obviously acquisition from last year.
It was killer. It was absolutely killer.
And this season you added Dante DiVincenzo, you add Josh Hart mid-season. So we already know what Tom Thibodeau's philosophy is: play defense.
3-and-D, no.
Yeah, like which is basically. Josh Hart and Dante DiVincenzo. They have the only question mark is is Julius Randle the number one guy?
Yeah, and then can RJ be consistent?
Yeah,
and can both of them go right?
Listen, the Knicks, we'll talk about it more in the season preview. They're a huge landing spot for a potential superstar or superstar caliber / all-star player like a Joel Embiid or whoever could be available to Karl Anthony Towns to land there. To make them even better. But yeah, B for sure. They're probably a playoff team this year.
All right, this came soon. The Toronto Raptors.
So here's the thing. They're in the same tier as Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You might be harsh and say D.
I'm not gonna. I'm putting them C still.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Pascal Siakam's still a stud.
Here's the thing.
OG Anunoby's good. Gary Trent Jr. is good. Scotty Barnes looking like he's gonna bounce back. And we added a young coach, new coach, whose key is to like focus on player development
and overall ball movement and play like
even though
more than a 5-man
and even though I don't agree with the direction you're going, because I don't know what the hell the direction is.
This isn't the point of this list.
That's not the point of it. Like Dennis Schroeder is a good replacement for Fred VanVleet, and
listen,
at the end of the day, Jakob Poeltl's still a stud.
Here's the thing,
like a good player. I won't say stud.
With Jakob Poeltl, you were 500 last year, which helped you guys to get to the playoffs. For a down year, you had 41 wins still. Scotty, obviously sophomore slump. Hopefully that's not the case. Fred struggled last year. At the end of the day,
he wasn't good. He was not good.
You lost shooting. You drafted a shooter, your boy Grady Dick.
Grady Dick, yeah.
I don't know how much he'll play. At the same time, Dennis Schroeder, we saw him what he did at the World Cup. We saw him with the Lakers last year. He's more than capable to lead a point, like lead the point, or let Scotty lead it, and then he could still be off ball. But yeah, I still think they're a C team. Playing for sure, contender. Could again squeak into a 6 seed if everything clicks well.
Utah Jazz.
Are they D?
I think for me personally, they're to start off in D.
We'll see how it adjusts because
the
listen, the thing is it's so much parity in this league.
yeah,
That,
it is
like I don't see them.
because okay, let's be honest. Like the start they had last year
Was insane.
was insane, but
But do you
they
expect
fell off.
Laurie Markkinen to be
That guy
what he-
again,
yeah.
like Colin Sexton. I think they added John Collins, right?
They added John Collins, but
But
again,
like,
he
is
like,
that is that gonna really
No.
propel you to a tier above?
like
go up a
again in
tier?
the West? There's not many teams that like if I'm going to do like on the top of my head prediction, they would be outside looking in still. And for
Yeah.
that, I have to put them in D. They're definitely not number one overall favorites, which is F. So I think D is a fair spot for them.
Yeah, Rockets. I would still put them in the same spot.
Oh, I thought you were gonna keep them in.
No, like Fred VanVleet's a good player. Ime Udoka is a good coach. Dylan Brooks had an insane World Cup.
Also, shout out to him, record ejection by sacking someone in the first preseason game. But
Okay.
but no, like your point, he'll help with the grittiness and defensively. Like people forget, like his antics will overshadow him, but he's still a great defender. I don't think he's gonna shoot the lights out like he did in the World Cup. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you added vets to a young team, and you have Ime Udoka. Jeff Green is there, leaving the Nuggets, and he's gonna be like the
And then
Udonis Haslam role.
Your
for
younger
them.
guys like Jalen Green, Alprin Sengun, right? They're a year older, which obviously is gonna
Jabari
help.
Smith Jr.
Jabari Smith Jr. It's gonna help, right? Like
Yeah.
once you play a couple leagues.
And then you drafted
couple
the
times.
Thompson brother. I think
yeah,
it's
yeah.
Amen Thompson.
Yeah, Amen Thompson.
So yeah, you still have Tari Eason. Like they're a good young team, but you added a couple of vets that I think they might be like a 14th place team still, but I don't think they're as bad as like the teams that we're gonna have an F eventually.
Yeah, maybe they're fat contracts, but like the team
They have
is
money to
improved.
spend.
The team is improved, right?
Yeah.
The New Orleans Pelicans.
So Zion's supposed to be there. Okay, so keep in mind we're basing this off how there are. So for example, Ja will take into consideration that he's suspended for 25 games, but we're also going to take in fact that how injury prone a team is. Just because Zion's healthy doesn't mean we have to still take in fact that count. But I still think they're a B tier team.
All right, so my point where I kind of agree with you is with Ingram and with Zion, they were like top 2 last year
They're their first place
until they got injured.
and they got like on a 60.
Yeah.
I don't know how much game of losing streak they won.
But
on.
they got whooped after that.
Yeah. When Zion plays, he's like a 70% field goal guy.
The issue is if Ingram and Zion play,
Yeah.
right? And I'm throwing Ingram in the conversation just because
Yeah, because
he
last
is,
year they played like what 12
Yeah.
games together.
he's injury prone as well. So yeah, I could chuck him in a low end of B right now just because if we're taking the injury factor
True. Yeah.
in here.
Okay. But yeah,
they're
like
probably
based
a
on start of the season, they're definitely B tier team.
Yeah.
There could be a playoff team next year.
LA Lakers.
Yeah. I'm not gonna put them. I want to put them in S, but just because they got swept last year by the Nuggets, I can't. And that's number one. Number two, again the health factors there. Now keep in mind, players might play longer because it's a 65 game to be eligible for the awards, which we'll talk about on Tuesday's bonus episode with a preview. Because a lot of players might force themselves to play injured, right? And which may be worse long term.
Maybe worse
Right.
long term, yeah, for sure.
Depending on how serious they want the award, right? And Anthony Davis might be motivated to get one, either DPOY for sure, maybe MVP, right? So as long as he's able to play.
But
They added Gabe Vincent. They added
your off season was nuts.
Yeah, like and they got the players they got rid of. Okay, they got rid of Troy Brown Jr. Yeah, he had a good year. Lonnie Walker had a good year. Gabe Vincent, Jackson Hayes, Christian Wood.
You somehow found a way to bring back Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, and D'Angelo Russell.
And then you add Christian Wood.
Yeah, so
So
yeah,
they're
they're A guaranteed. They could be creeping S for me.
They're creeping us, but I can't put them on that tier right now.
We'll just talk about the other team as well. Denver Nuggets.
This is a debate, right?
For me, I still gotta put them S.
Are you just doing that because of the respect of a champion, or are you doing that because you genuinely believe they're an S tier team?
I genuinely yes, Bruce Brown. At the end of the day, like you still have Jokic and Murray,
Yeah,
right? You still have Aaron
Wouldn't I
Gordon.
say the same thing when you have AD and LeBron?
Huh? Yeah, but with that, you got whooped by.
But no, you also got to keep in mind Nuggets lost Bruce Brown
Yeah.
in that series, and you lost Jeff Green who played in that series. The big question mark there is, can Christian Brown come in and take that Bruce Brown role?
And he's shown that.
Coach is great. Michael Malone's a great coach.
They
drafted a guy, from what I hear, again, I'm not a draft expert, from listening to Pee Wee the Plug from through the wire. He loves that draft pick, and he could take that Christian Brown role, and the Christian Brown takes the Bruce Brown role.
Which I'm not going to be surprised.
That's projection though.
Yeah, that is projection.
I think they're I think they're an A-tier team because
for
of
me
that.
personally,
because they didn't improve.
I think they're better than the Lakers.
Yeah,
still.
But I think the 3 teams in S are a tier above them because of the additions that they made. And the additions that Lakers made will definitely challenge the current Nuggets team. We can't say
the thing is that
they're not definitively.
You have the current
Lakers.
best player in the world as well.
Yeah, that's fine.
But for me, with that being but
you lost key pieces, is what I'm saying.
One piece.
It's still a big, but they didn't replace him really. Like you're banking on a guy like Christian Brown to take that role, right?
And also,
and with the Lakers, like I said, if you said Lakers won the offseason, or when we did the winners and losers. We also debated that the Nuggets may have lost the offseason because of what Phoenix did, but now obviously in hindsight now what the Celtics and the Bucks did.
But if I'm looking at it this perspective, the S teams, these are kind of like your big 4, like 2 in the West, the top 2 in the East. So I'm also kind of thinking it that way as well.
I'm not gonna do it like that.
But
there's no way.
Yeah, I know. But for me personally, like the resume speaks for itself. You have the current best player in the world. So you're basing it off
because they're
and
champions.
you have your reigning champions, and like by dominating fashion. It's not like they scraped by. They dominated.
Oh yeah, they dominated. I'm not saying that, but again, you're basing it off too much of what happened. We're basing it off what's on the paper, on that 15-man roster starting game 1.
I'm still giving them S because at the end of the day, on paper, they're still the same team.
But you literally said Bruce Brown's a big loss.
We're
projecting
loss,
Christian Brown to be that.
It's still Jokic and Murray.
Yeah, but I could say it's still AD and LeBron, and you added.
The thing is that Jokic and Murray beat them.
But again,
the Lakers are the same.
You're basing it off what happened. That's not the point of the tier list.
Yeah, no, but like I'm just still think they're a better duo. They're still a better duo right now at this current moment.
Okay, well, that's a debate.
Huh?
That's a debate.
Current moment, like obviously, if you're going like looking at the past and stuff, it's gonna be AD and LeBron.
Yeah,
but like if you're looking at what's recently been done and what's coming into the season, Jokic is the best player in the league right now. Coming into the season,
Jokic backup center is DeAndre Jordan and some guy named Amita Brima.
It was DeAndre Jordan last year too.
He barely played last year.
Exactly, because Jokic played everything.
Aaron Gordon was the backup center.
Exactly, so it's the same as last year.
Oh, that's a tough. You guys can comment down below. I think they're an A-tier team. I just because they're champions, I can't put them. That's like saying, okay, well, this is a draft. I'm not even gonna bring that up. I was gonna say when LeBron left the Cavs.
Exactly,
but that was too drastic. But I don't know. Would you have done it when the Lakers won the championship in the bubble? Would you have considered them an S-tier team?
What?
If we were to like start this podcast way back then, when the Lakers won the championship, going into the year they lost to the Suns in the first round, did you think they were an S-tier team then?
No, because I didn't believe in much in Aaron Gordon then.
No, I'm talking about the Lakers because they were the champions coming off championship.
Oh, Lakers.
Yeah. That Laker team that ended up getting.
Well, that Laker team was good.
Okay, so if that's your logic, then it makes sense for you.
Yeah, like I'd give respect to that Laker team too. Like at the end of the day, like
you're giving it slight respect.
I'm giving slight respect, right? Like they deserve it.
Okay,
for sure. Chicago Bulls.
C tier. You still have DeMar DeRozan. You still have Nikola Vucevic. You still have Zach LaVine. That's good enough to be a player. At least your defense 100%. Must be horrendous, except for Alex Caruso, and Patrick Williams take a jump. That's it.
You still have a solid trio. You beat the Raptors, and which is painful.
Shout out DR. Was it DR?
DeMar DeRozan's daughter.
DR DeRozan.
I refuse to say her name, and yeah. But yeah, no, like they still have a solid enough trio to like propel them to a playing spot.
Yeah.
Minnesota Timberwolves.
This is okay. I'm gonna ask you a question once we're all done this. If I hopefully remember, they're B or C for me, right? How much are you believing in that duo, the big duo with Anthony Edwards?
I don't believe in that big duo at all.
But how much do you believe in Anthony Edwards to help propel it?
It's a lot.
Okay, then how much do you believe in?
It's a lot of work.
How much do you believe in Cat having a bounce back?
Yeah, Cat. Obviously, Cat.
That's the
injured.
key, right?
Yeah, the key is
They were still fine.
I still believe. I think Anthony Edwards will do Anthony Edwards thing. I still think Rudy Gobert is gonna mess it up, and
but defensively he was still fine in terms of rim protection. You have Jaden McDaniels, arguably one of the best perimeter defenders in the league right now too, right? So I still think they're a B tier team because the West is so much better than the East. That's the problem.
That's the issue, right?
I can't compare it to what like just the West. We were comparing it as a league, right? So let's put them at B and we'll see what changes do you make. Because if you have the Pelicans there, I kind of have to put them there.
Yeah, I could see that. Then.
Yeah.
Portland
F.
F.
Listen, I think we need to do a thing for all our sports, especially NBA. The most fun team to watch, probably, and this team is considered my S for a most fun tier. Fun team.
I mean, you made the right moves, but at the end of the day, you lose your best player ever, potentially.
Yeah.
And it's gonna take a toll on you roster wise.
It might be DeAndre Ayton's team for half a year, but like Scoot Henderson's gonna take that team over, and they might be in a playoff spot in like 2-3 years. That's how good I think Scoot Henderson is. But just build around Scoot Henderson. Anthony Simons, your starters. You have Matisse Thybulle. You could trade him off if you need to.
You have Shaden Sharp.
You have DeAndre Ayton and Jeremy Grant, who could be a trade piece as well. But and then just build around the young guys like Shaden Sharp, you said, and you go from there.
Thunder's B team. Simple as that. Shea is superstar.
I want to say superstar.
Entering superstardom potentially.
Yeah.
There's a better way to say it. Obviously, awesome FIBA Cup for him.
Yeah.
Obviously, bunch of young studs. Chet Holmgren's back.
That matchup against Wemby was big as
Baby
well.
Wembanyama. That's what you're gonna call him.
I'm not
gonna
say that. That's weird to say because he's probably older.
But yeah, no, they're just the team up and coming. They beat the Pelicans as well. Who did they play in the first round again?
Was it Minnesota in the play-in?
Oh, they lost to Minnesota in the play-in. Yeah. So Minnesota took the 8 seed.
Yeah. No, like this is my one team that's making a jump in my opinion. Again, check out our season preview, which we still have to do. So I gotta still look into it how I want to place the standings. But again, if all those like teams we're gonna put in, it's gonna be stacked B tier.
It might be stacked B tier.
I think all the West might be in B and all the East might be in C, which is the way it's gonna go.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Memphis Grizzlies.
B. You're missing Ja for 25 games.
So we're counting that, right?
Derrick Rose, you did well to bring Marcus Smart and help defensively.
With Ja, they're A team.
Even still think they're a B team.
Are you? I still give them the edge.
They're like a regular season team. Like if we're like on paper, I still think they're gonna be a B tier team when it comes all said and done as well. And I know we're not projecting too far, but at the same time, we're basing this off, can this team win a championship? And I think the Lakers will do the same thing they did to them last year, even with Ja. And on top of that, you lose your big backup point guard in Tyus Jones, who was the reason why there's not turnovers. I don't trust Marcus Smart to be a lead point guard. But you have Derrick Rose.
Marcus Smart is an upgrade over Dylan Brooks.
Oh yeah, that's sure. That's fair.
So like when you have Ja, Marcus Smart,
Desmond Bane, that's just three small guys, man.
Jaren Jackson and Steven Adams. It's a better lineup than last year.
Yeah, no, for sure. With Ja, but the first 25 games are key. I still think they could go with 500 without Ja, but Tyus Jones is such a big loss that I don't know who's going to be their main playmaker. Is it going to be Derrick Rose? How much is he going to play? Let me quickly see who their guards are outside of Marcus Smart, because it could be Desmond Bane handling the ball, but again, I'm not confident in that, right? Yeah, so it's like Derrick Rose, Marcus Smart, Luke Kennard's a shooter.
Yeah, so it's between those two.
It's between Desmond Bane and Marcus Smart. I still think they're a B tier team even with Ja.
Luka Doncic and the Mavs. I could give them.
I'm gonna give him A.
I'm giving him A.
I'm giving him A. Listen, last year might be a blip. That's what I'm gonna say.
I think it was a blip, man. Like, because at the end of the day, like, yes, you got Kyrie Irving and Luka expected big things.
I want to see the roster because I need to see what happened.
But you had no defense last year.
They drafted well. I don't still think they don't have defense much this year.
But it's better. It's definitely
Seth
improved.
Curry is back, shooter.
That's big.
You still have Kyrie Irving. You have Luka Doncic. You bring in Rashawn Holmes rebounding. You have Derrick Jones for defense. Maxi Kleber is still there. You added Grant Williams to defense.
Yeah, Grant Williams.
Derek Lively's your only center apparently. Oh, well, I guess Dwight Powell's considered a forward and center. It's tough.
I think it's a blip.
That's it. For me, it's a blip for sure. But the question mark is the West is. I'm gonna leave the question. Let's leave it at A for right now because you could debate B. And I know you could. There's an argument for B.
There's an argument for B.
But at the end of the day, you have arguably a top 7 player in the world with arguably the best. Probably the most skilled player ever.
So you have like a top 7 player in the world.
Yeah.
And a top 5 point guard in the game, potentially, with Kyrie Irving.
If he plays, that's the key thing with Kyrie Irving.
Yeah. So, I think he'll play. He was fine last year. I think.
Well, last year he wanted money, his contract.
Yeah, that's true too.
That was the key thing.
I know like there's a lot of issues with Kyrie, but I just feel like this situation.
I agree with you.
This environment is different. Like,
it's an A tier team.
Yeah.
But it's like last year was, I think it's a blip. That's why I'm giving him the A.
Did they even play much together?
Yeah, but they were bad. Like Kyrie alone was better than Luka alone and them together.
Yeah.
So it was on Luke on paper. It's on Luka.
It's on Luka then.
But now you have a full off season. You get to play together. Luka doesn't have to be the highest like usage rate guy in the league.
Yeah, that's also
probably.
true. That takes a toll on him.
Because it clearly did take a toll because when Jalen Brunson was that guy for him.
Yeah.
And Kyrie is a better Jalen Brunson at the end of the day.
Yeah. Spurs.
It's D. I don't care. You saw the preseason highlights of Victor Wembanyama. I'm going with the hype. They're gonna still be bad. I still think they're not gonna be a play-in team, but I won't be surprised if they somehow
Is it a Bedard for Blackhawks basically?
Essentially, yeah. I gotta give him D. That's it.
Demigod.
Nothing more. It's just watch Wembanyama play, and let's see how the Spurs do. Greg Popovich is licking his chops. So let's see.
All right, this team on paper, the Clippers.
A. If you're putting Dallas in A, you have to give them A.
Is A team, right? Because if we're projecting like the roster currently, obviously injuries are an effect for sure, but Kawhi Leonard is still a stud.
Listen, the Kawhi Leonard on the court, no one could say anything about him.
Nobody could say anything.
The question
about
is
Kawhi.
when he's off the court, right?
That's
Paul George on the court, you could have some whatever.
But like
Kawhi Leonard never gives you that except for one game in that bubble. That's it.
When Kawhi Leonard's on the court, this team, he's a legit.
He beat the Suns.
He beat the Suns by himself in
and then
game
he got
one.
hurt.
And then he got hurt. And also
Listen,
he lost game two.
like we've had this discussion already many times about the injuries factor. Like how much do you blame it on the player? Yeah, they're injury prone. I get it, but like you can't do much with a torn meniscus.
Yeah, no, but a player takes some blame for sure. Like at the end of the day,
it just happened. Like, it's just bad luck, and they have to take the blame.
You have to take the blame.
Certain injuries.
I don't know. Like obviously certain.
Like you can't control a tear.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying like, just in general, like it's a reflection on how you treat your body as well, like low key.
But sometimes it's just straight up bad luck.
Yeah, sometimes it's bad luck. But at the end of the day, like when you're looking at overall, it's like how's your recovery, how's your all the other stuff off the court.
Does Kawhi play 65 games?
No, he's not playing 65 games. He's not playing. He's barely gonna reach 50.
I think he's gonna care about like he's gonna do what you got this right here essentially with the Raptors.
They're gonna have to find a way.
Yeah, but on paper they're still an A-tier team. I don't care what anybody says. Yes, we're taking injuries into slight effect. Fine, one of them goes down. I still think they're good enough.
And Russell Westbrook's there from the beginning.
That's the big question.
He's a good player still, right? Like and obviously if he knows his role, that team's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Golden State Warriors.
They put them in A.
They're an A as well.
You arguably have you have the best point guard in the league, the greatest shooter ever. Their biggest question mark where I could put them in B because of it is, are they really gonna play without a big guy again? Right? Like I was happy they drafted James Wiseman for their sake.
Who's their big right now?
Kevon Looney.
Yeah,
he's fine, but like when he's still small compared to like other.
That's true.
You need to have what the Lakers had in JaVale McGee when they had JaVale McGee and Zaza Pachulia and Bogut. Essentially, they need to find that because a small lineup of now you have Chris Paul, so potentially you have a closing or a lineup of Chris or CP3, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Wiggins, and Draymond Green.
Yeah, that's small. That is definitely small.
Then, don't get me wrong, Draymond Green could handle his own. I get that.
Yeah, but the issue is
AD
the guards.
could still cook on him. Jokic could still kind of cook
it's
on
not
him.
even. That's not that.
Not cook, but like
he'll
handle
for me,
his
it's the
own.
guards. They can't defend.
That too.
They can't defend.
Like Chris Paul could defend, but he's older. Chris Paul, Klay Thompson, his injuries didn't hinder him from being a perimeter mover like he was once upon a time.
I think, like for me personally, Klay Thompson is offensive issue for me than he is defensively. I still think he's still fine defensively, but for me, it's like can he get his offensive game back? Which honestly,
he kind of did it slowly going.
Kind of did, but it was getting inconsistent.
Like they're big. It's literally just Kevon Looney.
And the health reasons why is like Curry's been out many times last season. Andrew Wiggins was out for a while.
And then the other thing is their away record was horrendous last year. I think they need to go after they worked out Dwight Howard. I get it, but maybe not current Dwight Howard, but can you not have gone JaVale McGee back? Again, a little older. I might be talking out of my ass here a little bit, but I think they need to go find like that big that could.
But there's no arguments. They're still an A team as well. Detroit Pistons.
D.
They're still D.
I still think they're too young. Cade is coming back from an injury. I still think he'll be fine.
Jaden Ivey, Cade. They don't have Jeremy Grant anymore.
Azar Thompson.
Yeah, they drafted Azar Thompson.
They still have a Boyan Bogdanovic who could trade, but like vet presence.
He
there.
killed it last
Alec
year, right?
Burks,
Like
Alec Burks was because the Lakers were in trade talks for him until he extended or something.
Yeah.
Alec Burks, veteran presence wise, is still there, so it's like a Rockets vibe for me.
Isaiah Stewart.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still, that,
and they still have to figure out their. They have to figure out their center situation because they have Jalen Duren most likely starting, so that means they have Marvin Bagley fighting with James Wiseman for the backup role.
It's just funny because when I thought of Isaiah Stewart, I just thought of the fight instantly with LeBron. But
I think
that's a good rotation, right? Wiseman and Duren.
It should be Wiseman.
It should be, like it's still a decent. Like they could be the A tier team for the fun team to watch, in my opinion. Sacramento Kings.
B.
Yes.
You have to put them in B. The big question is last year a fluke?
Yeah, that's true. That's it.
With how good the West is, especially with Phoenix propelling, Lakers propelling, we're hoping over a better year for the Mavs and the Warriors and a healthy Clippers. So like off the bat, right there, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're seventh, in my opinion. Like off the bat, like, and you could debate the other teams.
Yeah.
Now regular season wise, sure they could go on a run, but like if you're saying from a championship wise, they're from the West, they're seventh.
Yeah.
So
I think De'Aaron Fox could repeat it as well.
Yes, I'm a huge De'Aaron Fox fan.
I think Domantas Sabonis could repeat his year as well because he's been a consistently solid, good player. The issue is just like, is it the star power in my opinion?
Monk had an amazing year.
Yeah, the issue is the star power.
Keegan Murray, is it going to be a sophomore slump?
Yeah, that too. But the issue is for me is the star power. At the end of the day, like De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis compared to like LeBron and AD, KD and Booker,
Kawhi and PG,
Steph
and whoever.
Steph. I mean, Steph cooked them alone in game 7.
Like I mean, honestly, I think they'll be fine. Kevon Huerter was solid for them last year. Harrison Barnes is the glue guy they need. Big man is their question mark. JaVale McGee, Alex Len. Is JaVale McGee gonna play? Is the question.
Next up, Cavaliers. They're I think they're B.
Yeah.
The way they ended off as well.
I want to say A, but they're B.
I think they're B.
Again, this is currently, right? And I think they're B. It's literally gonna be the West, just A and like B heavy, and then everyone else is probably the East. But yeah,
Donovan Mitchell is obviously a stud.
They added
Darius Garland.
They added the guy from Miami. Max Strus. So that helps with the shooting there. Yeah, I think they're a B tier team. I think they're in the same tier as the Knicks. And you kind of have to put them in the same tier as the Knicks.
Yeah.
Because the Knicks did destroy them.
Yeah, and this is a team that for me could move up during the year.
Listen, their biggest question mark is can they extend Donovan Mitchell?
As well, yeah, that's true. 76ers.
I'm giving him A still.
I'll give him A.
Listen, James Harden is still there. I get it. He's literally publicly saying he has no respect and he's lost trust with Daryl Morey. But Joel Embiid's MVP. You can't he's still good enough to carry a team to like a top 5 team.
Maxi's good as a second or third option, I guess. Harden, he said he's gonna play.
Yeah.
Right. You still respect Harden enough that you respect his game enough.
Yeah.
Obviously Embiid you mentioned, and they're MVP. They were good last year. 3 seed last year. Yeah, 3 seed last year as well. It's the same team coming back. Nick Nurse.
That's the question mark. Is he gonna play Is he gonna play what he did Toronto style, 40 minutes a game?
Yeah,
if that's the case, then Joel Embiid's screwed.
Yeah, but also if you think about it, when Nick Nurse came with the Raptors, obviously, kind of turned it around for sure. Made some adjustments that Dwayne Casey wasn't making at the end of the day. So he might do this same thing with what Doc.
It just depends on
the adjustments Doc wasn't making. Nick Nurse could make them and it'll propel them.
Their depth ain't the greatest, and how much will Nick Nurse trust it? That's the big question mark.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, Nick Nurse is a good coach and he's a championship coach as well. Charlotte Hornets.
I gotta put him in F, man.
With LaMelo?
Yes.
With LaMelo?
Yes. Kai Jones is saying shit. He got waived. Miles Bridges is arrested again. We don't know what's happening with that team. Yeah.
Brandon Miller and LaMelo.
Brandon Miller isn't Wembanyama. If we have Scoot in F, I'm putting Brandon Miller in F. And I get it. Yes, LaMelo's there. He was injured for half the year again last year, and I don't know.
He's injury prone, so I could, if we said, if we put injuries in factor, I'll put him in F. But with LaMelo, this team's not an F tier team for me, and
Wait, so you're saying you want to put him in D?
No, but like because like you said, if you're putting like Jaws suspension in effect,
Yeah.
LaMelo's injuries are coming in effect.
Yeah, I don't know.
But with
This is
LaMelo, they're a D team. They're a D team.
like fully through. I mean, I think he's healthy to start the season.
So then, personally, if
I still think they're an F tier team. I do.
LaMelo doesn't have to.
I think
you know
Detroit's better than them.
You know they made the play-ins with LaMelo.
I know they did. That was 3 years ago.
It wasn't 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was 3 years ago.
It was that long ago.
Yes.
But they made like 2 years in a row.
First 2 years in the play.
First 2 years in the play-ins, yeah.
Yeah, and then they got their ass kicked, and then after that they shot the bed.
So how long was that?
At the time, you had Miles Bridges playing for them. I don't know. I can't put him.
I don't think it's like
there's so much drama on that team legally wise that I can't trust it.
Yeah,
either.
okay, I could see that. But
Kai Jones is calling himself the GOAT. It's hilarious but stupid at the same time.
What the heck?
All right, no, I'm putting him in F. I'm sorry, no.
All right, fine. I just for me, it just feels like we're disrespecting LaMelo low key. That's why.
Prove it. Simple.
I mean, he has been proving it.
No, prove it now.
He has been proving it.
Prove it now.
No, he's a good player. LaMelo's a stud. As simple as
like
that.
Miles Bridges out suspension.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So yeah, no.
But there's no knock on LaMelo. There's just knock on everyone else.
Everybody else but LaMelo. And
Yeah.
I guess Gordon Hayward. Are you going to be injured?
Yeah.
That's it.
Orlando Magic.
D.
Yeah, they did
Franz
pretty
Wagner,
well.
Paulo Banchero. Like, I think those two teams.
Paulo
are better.
Banchero, yeah. Paulo Banchero had
Franz
a really
Wagner,
good rookie year.
Markel Fultz, was coming back last year. Again, him is the injuries again. But Paulo Banchero, like he had a good, decent USA run. Decent. I want to say he wasn't crazy.
I mean,
he had one crazy game, but that's it.
He was pretty good, no?
He was decent. Like from what I didn't watch much USA outside of the Canada.
Yeah.
He didn't play in that.
But
from what I heard was he had one good game and that's it.
I don't know. It might have been a loss against the Canada.
But listen, he was rookie of the year last year. He was 20 points a game last year, I believe.
Yeah,
he's only gonna get better. I don't think a sophomore slump. It could be, but I don't think it'll be
for a player that's played.
Franz Wagner's
a
pretty underrated young guy in the league as well. Yeah, I think they're better than the Hornets as well, and the Pistons, and then they're the same tier as the Pistons for me.
All right, Miami Heat.
Finish it off with them out at the end.
All right, Atlanta Hawks.
B.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else to really say.
Yeah,
like they're similar to the Knicks. They're similar to the Cavs. Cavs are on paper. I do believe Cavs are still better than Knicks and Hawks.
Yeah,
but it's just that like this is where kind of last year comes in effect for me for the Cavs because like they ended off so poorly.
Yeah.
But for me, the Hawks, you know, Trae Young is still a good player.
Yeah.
Clint Capella's still there, and yeah, like I just think they're in the same level as the Knicks and the Cavs.
Yeah, nothing. There's nothing much to say. Trae Young, I'm expecting a bounce back. That's all.
Pacers are
they're the exact same thing for the Thunder. They're my East version of the Thunder. They add Obi Toppin. No, did
they prove it yet? That's a projection.
They I think they're fine. Tyrese Halliburton got hurt last year. That's why.
I think
they're a B tier team. I'm putting the same.
I don't think they're better. I think they're the same as the Nets, bro.
No, I think they're better.
I think they're the same as the Nets.
I think they're like the OKC level. I can't compare them to just the East. I think like they made moves. Bruce Brown.
Yeah.
Obi Toppin. They have Miles Turner extended now. Let me pull up their lineup. I'm arguing B for that. I don't give a shit. I'm putting B for them. We'll move some teams to see if we have to. I think the Pacers are that team to make a massive jump this year. I could be wrong. I'm a jinx apparently. But
You're projecting.
Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, Benedict Mathurin, Bruce Brown. I'm not projecting. I think Shea's better than Halliburton, but Halliburton's like a slight tier below him, like half to 1 tier below him. It's not like they're miles apart. They had a good year last year. They were going well, as well, right? I think they're a B tier team. Yeah,
I could see.
I like their draft, Jarvis Walker.
I could see it. I'll move them up, but for me personally, I think they need to prove it for me. I was like C going up to B, but like for me, they haven't proved anything to me yet. And obviously, I do believe they're a better team.
Yeah, you're right. I guess I'm kind of projecting.
You're projecting. That's what I'm saying. That's why
I'm so high.
I know you're high. Bro. I'm putting it back to C.
Okay, fine, whatever.
At the top of C.
But I think they're.
They haven't proved anything for me yet. Like they're a good team. I agree with everything you said. They got better. Yeah. But the issue is, what the hell? They haven't done anything.
Yeah, I guess it's preseason. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I think they're a team that could surprise some people and go up to, like, expectation wise, could be an A finalist at the end. Expectation wise, like how we do at the end of the year.
Miami for me is A minus B plus.
So here's the thing. I get it. They're in the finals last year. But you can't forget that they were the 8th seed. You also can't forget they played with 2 games without Giannis in the first round. I get it. They play who they play. I understand that. But you still have to take slight account.
What are you saying? What's your tier first? Stop.
B.
Okay.
It's
I could see it.
You did everything to try to get Damian Lillard. You did not get Damian Lillard.
I could see it.
You know how we do our thumbnail and we point laughing? You know how we point laughing? That's probably going to be my thumbnail. Where I'm like, we're laughing at them because you thought you were going to get Damian and you got no one.
Here's what I'm going to say right now. I expect them to be good, but like I said, if I said the same thing for the Pacers, you're projecting, I'm projecting them to be good. But at the current moment, I could see why they're a B team. I could see that.
They lost.
Like with how much they lost with Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, and all these guys without getting Dame Lillard, I agree with you. They're a B tier team.
Yeah.
But I like how you projecting the Pacers to go up a tier. I think Miami, including postseason, could go up a tier as well.
So here's the thing, right? They're a team that get players out of nowhere. They lost 2 big pieces in Max Strus and Gabe Vincent to the Lakers and the Cavs. Who's their next guy? Is it going to be this Drew Smith guy? Is it going to
Jaime Hawkes is a good draft pick, in my opinion.
That's a good pick. Like,
Yeah.
I honestly, I could still see it. If you really believe A, you could convince me to be an A. But it's just tough. I don't see
I'm not convinced A myself, like currently. But like for me, like I've been arguing, obviously.
I thought you said they were a top 3 team in the East.
Yeah, but I'm putting like playoffs into factor as well. I'm not saying like
we are including
I'm not
playoffs. This is including playoffs, not just regular season.
No, this is their tier right now.
Yeah,
there's a tier
like
list. You just said there's tier list right now.
The tier list right now, including like what you expect.
Yeah, I expect.
Is that team to be good enough to make a fall?
Yeah, no, but like we're looking at what their current situation is. That's what this tier list is about.
So you want to see
Pacers
what they're like. So their
Pacers
lineup
current
right now,
situation is
their lineup right now, I think is Kyle Lowry, Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, someone, and Bam.
It's still good lineup. It's a very
right. I don't know if that's gonna be Nikola Jovic. I don't know if that's gonna be or Kevin Love.
It's Kevin Love. The
question is Duncan Robinson gonna be?
It's a very solid lineup
coming back.
But like I'm looking at it current situation wise. I expect him to be good again. But like,
is Haywood Highsmith gonna be the guy?
Bro, he was a god last year in one of the games. I think it was game 2 in the finals or something. But yeah, no, I'm like you said, current situations. I'm not gonna be hypocritical here. Like I stopped you from moving the Pacers up for that same reason. I'm doing the same thing with the Heat, so that's why I'm keeping them at B.
The Heat are,
but I project them to be.
I agree with
here.
you. I won't be surprised if they somehow become an S and A tier by the end of the.
Yeah, that's where I'm projecting to be. Yeah.
But again, last year they barely survived a play-in game against.
Hey
the
man,
Bulls.
all you gotta do is survive. I guess that's how it works for you.
Yeah, that's how they want to play it. So that's the case. You have to be a B tier team.
Yeah, so this is our final tier list. Any changes?
Changes? Well, we already said I want Denver in A. I wanted Pacers in B, but we compromised that with the Miami staying in B.
It's the same reasoning for me, Miami Pacers, so that's why.
It's weird seeing all the C tier teams being East and all the West is like either D, F, then B, A.
So West is better, bro.
Yeah, that's
West
true.
is better.
Like, so do you think? Like I can't even put the Pelicans in B or C. Sorry,
it's hard.
I just can't.
You can't. Like
if they play head to head, I could see Pacers aside. I could still see them beating. I could see them beating the Pacers.
I could beat them all 4 teams in the East. Yeah,
I could see them beating all 4 teams in the C, and I could see them winning against everybody and almost everybody in the B tier.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's fine. Like Minnesota's the one. Okay, I'm about.
I could draw.
But I believe in Anthony Edwards a lot. Like they were still a playoff team last year.
They
were 7th seed last year before they lost to the Lakers, in the play-in.
And then they were the 8th seed. So like, yeah, it's simple as if Anthony Edwards wasn't there, they're a C team for sure.
Probably even D. But
Probably D. But
okay, so here's my question to you.
Because of Ant-Man.
Shout out to Through the Wires because I was listening to them. And this is the question I think Mike brought up. Which team has the biggest range? So you know how we're like...
Also like high
ceiling,
high floor?
We know...
High ceiling, high floor?
Essentially, you won't be surprised they're 5th in the league, but then somehow they're 20th. You won't be surprised if they're 20th in the league or whatever the case. I think that's Minnesota for me. And New Orleans. I also see Dallas for some reason, but not as big as them. Not as big as them. Like I could see them being like an A to a B.
For me, it's Minnesota. And if I were to pick someone in the East, I would go with I'll go Atlanta in the East.
Yeah, that's what they said. Atlanta.
I'll go Atlanta with the East, yeah.
It's random, bro. It's like it's tough. Like
It's a tough.
every sport we've done so far, ever since we started the podcast, especially going on from last year, the parity is insane in the NFL, the NBA, and the NHL.
A lot of
right now.
movement in the NBA, right? Like look
Yeah.
look what happened last season itself. But yeah, so
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Atlanta for sure. Like you won't be surprised if they finish like third. But
Yeah,
you also
like-
won't be surprised if they finish like 12th.
honestly you could chuck the Kings there as well.
This year, yeah.
Yeah, this year, because-
yeah.
Because is it a fluke? We don't know.
Yeah. And on the flip side, like I won't be surprised if actually I kind of will be if like Orlando takes a jump, but
Oh,
like,
yeah, I'll be
to
surprised.
like I see that max they could go to a C, but yeah.
But yeah, so this is our final tier list. One last look at it. Comment down below what changes you
Another
would make.
team I could throw in is Toronto as well because they're random too. Like 2 years
Yeah.
ago they were like the 5th seed,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
last year they were 10th.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
It's because their lack of direction, I guess. They could go up and
yeah,
down. Yeah.
that's exactly
yeah.
it.
But yeah, so this is our final tier list. Comment down below any changes you would make.
Miami
you
Heat
think we're
fans,
if you think
I'm
we're
not
genius,
apologizing
yeah.
for what I'm saying.
Comment
So,
down below
yeah.
if you think we're geniuses or stupid or alternate universes James Harden's, which is a previous comment in the last tier list, NBA tier list video.
Yeah,
And yeah, so basically that's it. And that's pretty much it, yeah.
yeah, that's pretty much it. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Comment, like Jovan said, what you guys would change, and make sure you guys check out our NBA season preview where we'll actually predict the standings, give our award winners in season tournament. We gotta remember that as well.
Yeah.
That's a thing this year. Yeah, comment your guys' favorite teams down below and how you think they're ranked without being biased. And yeah, without being biased, I feel like
I think
the
it's
Lakers
fair.
are an A tier
I think
team.
it's fair,
and
yeah.
yeah, so
I think it's fair.
for our teams.
For our
But
teams, yeah.
And comment on your surprise team. Like for me, it's the Pacers and the Thunder taking a huge jump. But yeah, other than that, we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Peace.